Hello, this is Star Conflict, and today we're going to talk about 5 best recon interceptors in the game. Our list will include 1 recon from ranks 1 to 5, 1 from ranks 7 to 9, 1 from 10 to 13, and another one from ranks 13 to 15. Phew, that's a lot of numbers. The list will also include the best premium recon interceptor, as usual. Keep in mind that it's not a top 5 list. Every machine that we mention is the best in its own rank group, not the best ever. We also won't talk about custom ships because these little birds are way too customizable to judge them objectively. Okay, let's begin. At low ranks, our task is as hard as ever. The Hawk's sensor range is increased by 150% if you get yourself an enhanced scanner and a neurocontroller Albatross. You'll be able to spot enemies on the literal other side of the map. That makes the Hawk an excellent choice for sector battles, but only ships of rank 7 or higher can actually participate in those, and the Hawk is not that. The Dverger Knight has a few interesting modules. For example, it has access to a nice ghost camo system. It makes you disappear from enemy radars for 5 seconds, which means that enemies cannot lock in on you during that time. Moreover, this camouflage does not activate if you use modules or open fire, which is rather great. Another interesting module is called the Shroud Generator. When you make a warp jump, this generator leaves a nasty radioactive cloud more than 1 kilometer in diameter in your point of departure. This cloud damages all enemies unfortunate or stupid enough to get inside it. There's also the fact that the Knight has a trait that reduces the reload rate of the recon modules by 25%, and it really looks like we have a very strong contender for the title of the best low-level recon. Sadly, there aren't that many guns to choose from at rank 4. The last great pick in this group is probably the Dwarf 2. The ship can be outfitted with a teleportation anchor, a somewhat weaker version of the familiar return crystal. When you activate it, your dwarf drops a drone which just hangs there for a minute and a half. Activate it again, and you'll be teleported back to the drone while also getting some of your hull points back. Quite an alternative to the repair kit, actually. There are 2 important things to consider though. First, the anchor is not a multi-purpose module, so it doesn't get bonuses from rank 8 implants. Second, you'll have to be even more careful while fighting these annoying Techler fighters with their inhibitor beams. The Dwarf 2 also boasts a perk that increases the effective range of recon modules by impressive 50%, but it's not that useful in this case. There are only 2 active modules that benefit from this bonus, and one of them doesn't really need it. Our last word? Well, the best low-rank recon is still the Dverger Knight. Yes, the Dwarf has a more impressive array of modifiers at its disposal, but the Knight, in our opinion, has access to better unique modules. We move to our next group of ships and immediately see 2 great contenders, the Swarm of the Empire and the Hawkeye of the Federation. The Swarm belongs to that rare breed of interceptors that rely on their missiles to deal damage. Its missiles reload faster than usual, and it also has access to a unique modifier called Faraya Missile Amplifier. This module makes your missiles punchier and, once again, speeds up their reload once more. That's cool. Furthermore, the Swarm can use the Triumvirate Hologram active module. It's all about creating conventional holograms, nothing too fancy, but instead of just 1 illusion, you make 2. These holograms disappear faster, but the module has a noticeably shorter cooldown. The Federation ship can be equipped with a covert ops drone. Basically, it's an improved version of spy drones. It reduces the target's hull and shield regeneration by 50% as usual, but also deals actual damage to enemy shields. On one hand, it's only active for 8 seconds though. One of the capacitor slots of the Hawkeye can be used to install a critical counter. This modifier increases your chances to crit for every hostile ship in the radius of 2.5 kilometers. Too bad the bonus is hard capped at 50%. The Tracer Plasma Gun marks your targets with every critical hit, making them take 20% more damage from your allies. If you use this weapon with a critical counter, an infrared scanner, and a neurocontroller Oculus implant, you'll crit with almost every other shot, making this gun a great support weapon. After some consideration, the winner in this group is the Hawkeye, as it has the greatest set of modules and weapons available. Moving on to the next group, ranks 10 to 12. Here we find two good vehicles that are fairly similar, the Nibelung and the King Nibelung. The Royal version is somewhat nimbler and more maneuverable, while the regular one has two CPU modifier slots. Even their unique active modules are more or less a variation of the same thing. The regular Nibelung has the hazardous veil. It creates a cloud with you at its center, covering an area a little bigger than 1 kilometer in radius. This cloud slows down the hull repair speed and regeneration speed to a crawl, and also deals weak thermal damage at the same time. The King Nibelung comes with an active screen. It functions in roughly the same way, but its radius is 500 meters shorter, and instead of dealing damage, it causes a further decrease in energy regeneration. That's where the similarities end though. A Nibelung can use a unique side booster engine modifier, which allows you to dash left or right with your double tap, corresponding to the side movement button. That can be quite handy, but beware of asteroids and space debris. It's very easy to smash your ship up to pieces like that. The King Nibelung, in its turn, has unique armament called the Drakkar Nanobot Colony. Basically, it's the good old Tai'Kin. Each gradually destroy the target's hull with every projectile that connects. But there were some improvements to the design. The Drakkar deals slightly more damage and is more accurate. Furthermore, after the destruction of an enemy vehicle, your ship's hull is restored by 650%. The choice is really hard to make here, especially because these two have so much in common. But in the end, we believe that the King is a better pick. The side booster takes time to get used to, and that's not mentioning the fact that you have to sacrifice some of your speed and maneuverability to install it in the first place. That's just not something that you want to do with an interceptor. At the highest ranks, the undisputed winner is the Spectre Falcon, which can carry both a tracer plasma gun and a covert ops drone. That's obviously not all. As we were saying, mobility is one of the most important things for any interceptor out there. Your survival depends on it, and sometimes the fate of the game as well. And the Falcon's micro-warp takes 20% less time to get ready than the ones from any of its Empire brethren. Now for the premium vehicles, we believe that the machine that stands out the most is the fantastic Psy, an interceptor that is nigh impossible to hit due to its minuscule size. Can't touch this. You can learn more about this recon in one of our previous episodes. Do check it out. Do you agree with our list? Please share your top picks in the comments below, and see you in space.